Hey, welcome back to Episode Wrong Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and always my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey, bud.
How's it going, man?
Oh, man, it's pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. How's you?
Yeah. You just asked that.
That's good.
Hey, man. So I'm keeping it chill for a minute because I got a lot of energy in me, and I'm sure it's going to come out for a minute, or in a minute from now. Anyways, this week we're talking about Carole and Tuesday.
It's a new show that dropped on Netflix pretty recently. I mean,
it's been coming out like weekly for everywhere that's not the United States.
But we just got it recently.
We just got it. But we only got part one.
Hey, don't freak out. Don't freak out. We got 12 episodes.
We do.
Which is about an arc.
Mm-hmm. It is an arc.
Yeah, it's an arc. Yeah.
It wraps up.
Okay, so it's not like it's doing better. You're doing better, Netflix. Go fuck yourself, Netflix. We love you. Go fuck yourself.
Also, right off the bat, you can find like all the music on the Spotify right now.
Yeah.
I don't know about iTunes. Probably iTunes, but it's on Spotify. Just look up Carole and Tuesday. You'll find playlists. They got everything.
For sure. So we're going to be talking about that in a bit.
But first,
we got a lot to say. But first, we
have to catch up.
We haven't seen you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Let's jump back to last week when we were like, "Hey, it's Juan's birthday." That's great.
Yeah. Did we say anything about that?
I think we mentioned it on the podcast.
I don't remember mentioning it on the podcast.
I was like, "Yeah, you're going out for your birthday tomorrow with Sierra. You're doing some dinner thing."
I did.
Whatever.
Thank you so much. I do remember like posting on like Facebook. It was some voice actor's birthday, and I was like, nice. And I was like, that's my birthday. And then like I posted like, hey man, this guy shares the same birthday as I do, and I was like, cool, good for me.
Nice, you did it. Well, anyways, what I wanted to do was last week I wanted to give you your birthday present on the podcast, but it came in late, so I couldn't. Okay. So instead, I have it now, and I didn't want to say anything about it until now.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've been looking at this box, like, what this box doing?
There's a box back there? Dude, I honestly did not even notice there's a box down there. Is it wrapped?
No.
Oh, then
I wanted it to be inconspicuous as hell.
Cool. Yeah, no, man, for sure did not know
Plus,
there's a box
I also
back
wanted it to be easy and not super loud and annoying on the podcast.
Here we go. Here we're opening
it up.
Oh, cool, man. It's it's from that show.
Uh-huh. We'll talk about it later when we're listing who made.
Yes, but thanks, man. I appreciate it. I don't have one of these figures. It's okay. I'm gonna describe it for the pod. It's green. Mm-hmm. He's got skin and eyes. Mm-hmm. Guess that figure.
I don't know. It looks weird. It's kind of like a Gulpin.
Yeah, it's a Gulpin.
Yeah,
that's the Pokemon. No, it's Deku from My Hero Academia. Mm-hmm. Haven't said that in a long time. I actually thought about that. I was driving back from San Jose with you, and we were listening to a bunch of anime music, which was a lot of fun.
Jamming, like,
and I remember like, these things fucking rock. And I was like, I remember My Hero Academia. Like that. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's him doing the shoot style little action move because
it's a good one.
It's a kick-ass little Deku.
It's one of the good My Hero figures.
It is. There are a few like action ones right now because the ones that I have are just kind of like posy.
Yeah.
I mean, Deku looks fine. He's doing a little like, oh man, look at me. And then Bakugo's doing like, I'm mad at stuff, you know. But neither of them are doing shit. They're just standing.
Yeah, we were talking about this because My Hero's been out for a while now.
So long. They're finally coming out with kick-ass figures.
Good figures.
Finally.
The Froppy figure is so fucking
dope.
And
it only costs like $180.
It's pretty expensive. Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it's a cool little guy. So
we'll put that over here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But
where'd he come from? Japan?
No.
Is that why it took so long?
No.
He came from Japan?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't
care. It did come from Japan, I would have gotten you the very expensive half and half one that I was not about to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one where his mask
is burnt off.
That one is also really cool. Also very expensive.
Yeah. So they got some really cool, really expensive ones coming out. They also have some really cheap, pretty cool ones coming out. Like finally we're going to get an Eraserhead.
Eraserhead.
Yeah, Eraserhead one.
Yeah, I did see that one. Looks good.
Yeah, and I think that we have an Uraraka that's actually like levitating rocks.
Yeah, floating.
Right?
Yeah, I have seen that
which
one.
Which is fucking cool.
Why didn't you give me that one, you jerk?
Because they're like only in Japan, I think, for a ton of money right now. That's okay.
No worries.
Yeah.
I'll just get anime.
I'm like, I totally could, but we do enough anime shit that like we'll both be on the lookout for cool shit like that.
We'll probably see one for a better price. Thank you.
Yeah. Like at SAC Anime when we go there in January or whatever, because honestly, it's it's a nice little time.
It's funny because we've decided that we don't go to SAC Anime for anything other than looking at the exhibit hall.
Yeah,
because
I love looking at Artist Alley and stuff.
But we don't, but we don't go there for the fucking fan signings or stuff like that.
No,
but we still have to go.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's just a close little local thing. But they tore down the place it was held at. So what do we even do?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Nerds will unite. They will all bring a brick, and we will build the building.
I think they just had Sack Anime recently or something, or maybe they're having it like now. Anyways, because they have 2, I believe. We go to the winter one. There's a summer one.
Yeah, they do have 2.
Yeah, so maybe they're having it now-ish because it was tore down. They had to find a new venue or something.
Who knows? We're going to go to another one eventually.
Yeah, anime stuff, man. So anyways, happy birthday. Throwback to last week.
Thanks, man.
And then I texted you earlier today because I thought it was important that you know that now that you've gone on your bachelor's vacation, you went on your little bachelor trip and whatnot, and you got married a little bit ago, but now like this officializes it. This is the end. You're done with all the wedding stuff, and the honeymoon is like post-wedding things, right? So that's coming up soon. Long story short, Sierra, your ex-girlfriend.
My ex-girlfriend, yeah.
I feel like it's important you call her that now. Because she's not your girlfriend anymore, man.
When I got this text, because for a second there, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because I don't remember talking to you at all, right? But you're like, I read that, and Sierra was right there, and I was like, I could have told her. I was just like, no, I'm going to save it.
Yeah, just sneak it up on. Well, you don't have much time, depending on when she listens to this.
I don't.
So you got like a day.
I don't, yeah, but I thought it was so funny. You're just like, because it was some sound logic. You're just like, hey, man, that's your ex-girlfriend. I'm like, you're right. I've never had an ex-girlfriend. I've only ever had the one girlfriend.
Congratulations.
People, I remember, I've only I've dated Sierra. She's my only girlfriend I've ever, like, official girlfriend, right? Yeah. And like, we got engaged and married.
Tons
and stuff.
of boyfriends.
Bunch of boyfriends. Too many boyfriends. But the thing is, like, I remember people all the time like, yeah, man, breakups are hard and blah, blah. And I'd be like, yeah, man, they're tough.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know what it's like to be dumped. I haven't been dumped yet. So we'll talk about that later, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my ex-girlfriend. Yes. So I'm back home living with my ex-girlfriend, who is now my current wife.
That's got to be awkward, man. Living with your ex.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
It's so stupid. I love it. It's just so dumb.
I
also, another dumb thing that I thought of recently, which I think is hilarious, but nobody else has thought it's funny so far. Instead of saying like, thank you, you can ask, am I welcome?
I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, I know. I fucking think it's hilarious.
Am I welcome?
It sounds so awkward because, I mean, the answer to thank you is you're welcome.
Yeah.
So you might as well just ask, am I welcome? You know?
Yeah, you sure are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's strange. Yeah, man. You should really calm down, okay?
Yeah, man. Anyways, those are my weird thoughts lately. Good stuff.
Their stuff.
Yeah. So tell me about what you've been doing, because all I've been doing is playing Monster Hunter, so that's kind of boring talk. But you've been up to crazy stuff.
It's very true. Okay, so last Friday I went to Vegas finally for my bachelor party. It's weird because it's like a bachelor party, and I was like, well, we had to push it back because my friends didn't have money saved up to go.
Yeah, you were like, let's go in like April or whatever.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we can't. So they pushed it to September, and I was like, because I worked for everybody else, and I was like, that's fine, no big deal. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, it's also kind of around my birthday. It's kind of a bachelor birthday thing, no big deal, whatever. The thing I hated the most about it was every time we were there, people would be like, hey, you guys are here for a bachelor party? And they would go, yeah. People would be like, congratulations. And someone would ask, like, when are you getting married? And then they'd be like, he already did it. And then they'd look at me like, yeah, my friends suck ass. So this is what we do.
You get to be like, yeah, these fucking guys.
Yeah.
These dudes.
So it wasn't even a bachelor. It's okay. I'm not too upset about it because my logic was they're not going to make me do anything now that they could have convinced me to do then.
So this was actually a better trip.
Yeah, I mean,
could have been in the past.
They could have forced, they could have been like, I guess they could have forced me to be like, hey man, let's do some drugs or whatever.
Hey, and you're single. Let's do heroin.
Yeah, let's
that's what I always say.
They could have been like, hey man, here's some coke. Let's do some coke.
I actually, sorry, it's slightly related to that. I snagged a picture really quick I was reading Sweetness and Lightning while I was at work today. And I just took a fucking silly ass picture. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a Smoogie the Kid saying, you want to smoke then? We're both grown ups, so it's okay. Even though Smoogie's like 5 years old or whatever. Essentially, she's just like up late and kids aren't allowed up late. So she had to act like an adult and then she would get the adult food that he was cooking right then. and she's trying to be adult, and she's like, yeah,
let's smoke.
Do you smoke anymore? Like, yeah, ask that. And she's like, yeah, you don't smoke because you love me. I know. She's just saying all this weird shit. And then she finally asks, like, do you want to smoke? We're both adults. So
it's okay.
It's okay. It was just a weird out of context thing.
Anyways, if the guys would have tried to like make me do coke, like or something before the wedding,
yeah,
they wouldn't have convinced me to do that then. They're not going to convince me to do it now. So it's like if they would have tried to like, hey man, we're going to do this really shit. Like say they like, here's a prostitute. Then I wouldn't accept a prostitute then or now. So it's no big deal, right? In my head, I accepted both of them on the trip. So
I mean, it's
I'm
your
a
bachelor
married
party.
man.
You're
Absolutely.
in Las Vegas.
I'm in Las Vegas. I'm in Sin City.
Yeah.
No, none of that shit happened. I'm gonna do a quick like breakthrough because I was only there for a few days. I'll tell you what happened. Okay,
break it down, son.
We had to fly out of Oakland because the SAC. We could have flown out of SAC, but it would have been like $200 more dollars. It's like that's a lot of money, you know.
It's a lot of money for a lot of folk.
Yeah, so we flew out of SAC. Flew out of Oakland, which is fine. I've never been to the Oakland airport. It's okay.
It's all right.
One of my friends, Matt, put a dildo in my bag.
I heard about this.
And so my bag got flagged, and then the guy said, hey, man, I got to look in your bag. And I was like, sure, I go ahead, right? And he goes, do you want to do some private? And I said, no, because in my head, it's like, there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
So he opens it up very discreetly, peeks in, puts his hand in, and then he just closes it, and he goes, you're good to go. I was like, cool. Nothing, like, didn't make a scene at all, no big deal. It wasn't until I got to the hotel and unpacked my bag that it was there, and I go, oh, cool, that's why that guy had to look at my bag. And I was like, good job, guys. You really got me. You should have done a little bit better or something or tried harder, but it's fine. It was just a good time.
I don't know. I'm not a big prank fella.
You don't like
in
pranks?
My life. I'm not a big pranker.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever noticed. Never pulled a prank on you. I just say stupid shit and then go, nah, I'm just messing.
I guess it's true because you never pranked me.
Yeah, I'm not a big pranker. The hardest pranking that I ever did was just putting shit in the way of Kyle's door when we lived together. I like moved my lounge chair in front of his door and
just
stuff.
Just to be a dick.
Yeah, you know, because I'm like, it's 2 PM. He's not awake. He doesn't need to do anything right
and you
now.
go, pranked.
Gotcha. Big prank. And I did always say pranked just so he knew it was a prank and wasn't just me being a dick, you know?
That's funny. That way it's not malicious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that. It was fine. No big deal.
Good pranking.
That first day, we went to a buffet at the Caesar.
All right.
We walked all the way down the strip. We were at the MGM, so it was a long way. I didn't realize how long the walk was. It was great. The buffet was a lot of fun. The way I eat, I don't eat all that much. I eat like a normal amount, I feel like. Or I don't like to get too full. But fucking the other guys were killing it. They were just going ham.
Because it's a buffet.
Yeah, but I was like, cool. I'm just gonna, I like it.
Buffet's not for you.
A little taste of this, a little taste of that. It was really good stuff. I think one of the best things I had was this dessert. I'm not, I'm not
You're not a dessert boy,
guy. But it was this like gelatin stuff made out of lychee berry. You ever had lychee berry?
Yeah.
It was really tasty. I was fucking with that hard.
Nice.
So that was that day. We came back to the hotel and then we went to the casino floor. There's like gambling and drinking and stuff. And there's a really cool arcade that I would get to. Because like, they're like, yeah, we're going to fucking play the slots. It's like, cool. It's fine. You think they got Pac-Man in here? And so like ended up at arcade.
Well, because I mean, slots is the same thing over and over. You know? It's fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then it gets to a certain point and you're like, yeah, I'm not winning enough. I'm just kind of done.
So we ended up playing at the arcade, had a good time, and to go back to the room. The second day, I think that was the day we had our Excalibur thing, which was kind of like medieval times.
Yeah.
It was like a dinner, it was a show.
It looked like it was pretty much the same.
It was a lot of fun. This story was different than medieval times. In my opinion, I think Medieval Times is better. This one was the Vegas one was good. It was very, very showy, very Vegas-y. So like there was dance numbers and stuff like that. And I go, okay, cool.
So the dance numbers and stuff is what really did they have songs?
Yeah, they had songs and they sang.
Oh man, yeah, no, that ain't me.
Yeah, I was like, I get it. I just want you guys to hate each other, though.
Yeah, Medieval Times.
But guess what, man?
Yeah.
The knight or the king that I was rooting for was the Green King. It was Ireland.
Yeah.
Good time.
All right.
And then earlier in that day, we went to a place where it was like this VR immersion thing. They put a backpack on you, and like you have like a gun and like a helmet thing. And we went with, it was the 4 of us, and then we were added with 2 other people, and then we were like, I think we were like military people. We were trying to like kill zombies and find a cure stuff.
Yeah.
It was like for 30, 45 minutes, something like that. And before we went in, we kind of like tried to figure out like who would get the high score. I got the high score. Adrian got second. Matt got third. Derek got last. Ryan didn't play because Ryan doesn't do video games. But here's the thing. The old guys we played with, they were like, I think like a brother, like a father-in-law and his, and his son-in-law or whatever. The old guy got first, like legit first. He and I had the same amount of kills. He had 3 more deaths than I did, but he had more headshots than I did. So his point was like 2,000 more than mine. So he was at the very top, and then his son-in-law was at the very bottom. He got last place. It was it was really cool. It was like like one of those really big rooms. It was all blacked out. There's like tape on the ground and stuff, and like they set you up with the fucking visor and the gun, and they kind of help you along. They go to the checkpoint, walk here, and then it was fun. And I've done VR before with you.
Yeah.
I've done it in this room, which is bigger than doing it in your living room. It was good. I was worried because the glasses, the goggles they were using, it wasn't like very friendly towards glasses, so to take them off. But luckily, their things were like adjustable, so you could move the lens or whatever, literally like closer to your eye.
That's cool.
And
That's good.
It really worked. It's like, because I was like, man, I really hope I didn't pay a bunch of money to do this, and then be like, it's not going to work, and have them refund me or whatever.
Legit, I've thought about getting contacts specifically for like VR and for cosplay, not for anything, Dude, normal.
I got contacts when I used to paintball all the time because it's like fuck this, like
putting goggles on top of your it's rough.
It's so shit. So that was a lot of fun. I would for sure do more of those kind of VR things. I did get a little disoriented, and I think it's just because VR kind of does that for extended periods of time.
It's weird,
but it was a lot of fun.
I think that's why they limit it to like 30-40. Yeah, is because of the
timing. Yeah, and the graphics looked really good. I was super surprised. Like the guys were even. I mean, I've seen graphics on your computer, so I was like, I know what VR can look like. Right? Yeah. Theirs was really it was really good for what it was. The guys, like, they fucking minds were blown. They're like, holy shit, that was amazing. Yeah. There's a point where we had to like go to the side of a building and go up a ramp that was like, and you could like fall off the edge. And the ramp was like really like slanted barely. And the guys were like, oh my God. They're like trying to lift their legs really high to climb over it. And I was like,
it's great.
And I was like, this looks really good. I do know this is flat though. So all I got to do is just walk forward, Yeah. which is really funny.
It's crazy how much it messes with certain people. Like, some people absolutely because when you're doing it long enough and you are ducking and like using things for cover and whatnot, it's like, all right, this thing is here, but because it's not blocking these things. Yeah. So I'm like looking under a bed and I'm like, all right, I got to get up. Let me just put my hand on this chair. Up. Chair's not there.
It's not really there. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was for sure. Like the guy's like, hey, you can duck behind anything or whatever for cover. It's not really there. So you'll fall right through it. And we go, cool. Good to know. So that was a lot of fun. That night I ended up not feeling too good. I think I was in the sun too long and I drank too much alcohol, and like I was like just big old headache, big old stomach ache. So I ended up staying in, which is really cool because I was like, this is nice. I just want to sleep.
Just a little break.
So I took a bunch of Advil, drank a bunch of water, fell asleep.
Honestly, that's the best part about Anime Expo sometimes is when we get home, we record and we're like, all right, let's not go. It's like 9. I'm fucking tired. Let's just call it.
You go peace out and you just go to sleep. Yeah. So I did that, and I woke up to the guys around like 4 a.m. Them like coming in, and they're like reek of like booze and women and stuff. And I go, and my favorite thing is Adrian comes in because Tim and I are sharing a room, and he just goes, Juan, she took all my money. So I was like, oh, Adrian, it's okay. And I was like, take a shower, come to bed. Don't worry about it. So they all went to strip club. The best part was,
oh man,
my favorite thing about it was like, Adrian disappeared really quickly. He brought a bunch of money. He's also very weak when it comes to like women, I guess. So it's just like, that's like the perfect place for him,
Yeah, apparently.
Strippers are just like, that's the guy I want. He's going to pay out. So the girl wanted like to take him to like a VIP room to do like a special dance for $600. And Adrian goes, whoa, $50. and she goes, I can't do it for 50. He's like, about 120 or 130. And he's like, all right, we're in. So, they had a good time.
That's how you haggle.
Yeah. $50. So they had a good time, and I was really happy for them. And they're like, you sure you don't want to go to strip clubs? Like, I'm sure. I mean, I would have gone if I was feeling better, but I was like, in hindsight, probably wouldn't have had a good time there. Probably would have been like, this isn't, I just want to be home with my wife.
Yeah. You're like,
hold on. I just want to be home with my ex-girlfriend.
Thank you.
So yeah, I didn't end up doing that. The next day we did Top Golf, which is something I've always wanted to do. Yeah. I know we have one in Roseville, but I was like, I really want to do it. It was really cool in Vegas. It was interesting. Like I've never golfed. I've never like driven. Like,
that's kind of fun.
Driving, yeah. And it's after several attempts, like after several practice rounds, like I was able to really hit it. I wasn't doing too great with scoring because you're supposed to like make them in these like little pods with like for points. And I was like, yeah, but I can hit it really far. Like look at it go, But yeah, I really enjoyed that. We also, Sunday, I got to watch a bunch of football, games. The Chargers played. They won. They beat Brad's Colts. Fuck you, Brad.
Brad doesn't even listen to us, but good to know.
Fuck you, Brad. Eliza, tell Brad. Because I texted Eliza, hey. I was like, tell Brad. Tell Brad. Good game.
Yep.
Go Chargers. And then Eliza ghosted me. So cool. Now I'm out for his head. I want Brad to cry.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, no, it was a good time. And then everybody else's teams won also.
Heck yeah.
And then the last day we just kind of, checked out of the hotel, did nothing. We were trying to go to the movies, but I was like, I didn't want to.
Pretty tuckered out.
No, it was like cutting it really close.
Okay.
So we just kind of hung out, watched, I think, a Monday night game for a bit, drank, ate some food, came home. Flew back in, got in home around like midnight yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's a trip. What I've learned from all of this is Vegas is a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool shit to see. It's really shiny. Everything's super expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
Like over the top expensive. We stopped at a gas station like on the way back. And I was like self-conscious, like, man, I really want this fucking, I don't know, soda. And I go, I don't want to pay $8 for it. And they go, hold on, it's $2 because it's a reasonable price. And I had like a Wendy's chicken sandwich for like a $2.50 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. This is the way things should be, be reasonably charged or whatever. So everything's super expensive. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of walking. And then I was talking to Sierra about this. Sierra's gone to Vegas a lot more because her grandma lives there. She was like, you guys should have got a monorail pass. I was like, we should have got a monorail pass, And that just led me to realize, yeah, if you go to like one of these trips, you got to have that one person.
You got to have somebody who does all the research.
That does like the legwork, that does like this time to this time, this thing to this thing. Because there was a lot of us being like, we want to do this. And then all people bickering or arguing about when and what time. And like someone being like, I want to go back to the room and change. And I want to do this. And it's like, it's just a lot of bullshit where it's like, cool. If I will go again, I would like to go somewhere that's like, we're going to do this and then do that. And I go, yeah, great. Because I don't fucking care. Because a lot of the times I don't fucking care. You go, what do you want to eat? Don't fucking care.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff, it can work out without you having to like plan certain things. But there are times where it's just like, I really need like a set schedule.
Yeah, I
like,
want to know.
When we went to Crunchyroll Expo, it was good to know like, all right, the earliest we have to get here is then, and then we have to go to these things. We have a break for lunch, like having that schedule set. And it's also easy when they have like options for you. So whenever we do our anime trips, we know certain things that we have to go to, some that we can go to, and have those options. But then when you just go on a regular ass trip, you need like a really weird different kind of schedule. Yeah. To where you're like, all right, we're hitting up a couple of important things. Everything else is open. So we got to decide what to do with all that open time, I guess. Yeah, that's hard.
I think also like the thing I didn't really like seep into my brain was also how big everything is.
Yep.
Like we stayed at the MGM Signature, which is these 3 towers. We stayed on the 3rd tower. That means we can walk through Tower 2 and 1 to get to the actual MGM, which is a casino.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, oh, that's super great. The longer I was there, the longer the walk felt, And then where you're at the very end of the MGM, like, oh, you want to get to the arcade? It's on the other side to go through all of the casino. And I go, fuck. And I go, cool. We want to go to Paris. Like, that's like 10 casinos down or whatever. And it's like, oh my God, I just need someone to tell me how to get there quickly. And it smells like cigarettes. It's just like a lot of things. Like, it's a combined of things I liked and things I hated.
Oh,
everything was super expensive. Everything's super pretty. The food was pretty good. It cost fucking arm and a leg. It smelled like cigarettes. I didn't want it to smell like cigarettes. But I didn't.
Oh, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it was rough. It was like, cool, some people can do Vegas. I'm going to go somewhere else next time.
Yeah.
Or I said, I'll go with somebody I know, like that can do the planning for me. One thing, the 2 games that I played, because I did gamble a bit, I played this like competitive Pac-Man game. You ever play Pac-Man where it's like you have to eat each other? Yeah. It's that, but with money, which is a lot of fun.
Interesting.
Because at least that way, I felt like, cool. If I lose this money, it's because I'm not good at Pac-Man. It's not because I hit the button the wrong, and it just didn't come up. And then I was playing with Adrian for a bit, and then some ringer came in and he just puts $50 in. And it's like just cleaning me out, and I go, you know what? Fuck this guy. This guy probably just sits there the whole time and goes, all right, it's time to go Pac-Man it up.
Yeah.
So I left. That's the one game I played that I enjoyed. I'd played again. The other game I played was just a regular slot machine, but it had like a little joystick to it. When I sat down, I was like, I just wanted a place to sit, so I put $5 in. I was like, I'm just going to sit right here and put $5 in. And so then I started playing and hitting the thing, and I got some money coming in. And then it was like, hey, you've activated the bonus round, and it has like 2 things on the screen. It goes, like one's like 10 extra free games, or the other one was like a skill challenge, and then you have to use the joystick to move a turtle swimming in the water, and you collect coins along the way. And at the very end, you just when you get to the end of the tunnel, there's just a chest that has a certain amount of credits also. So you could collect like 900 credits just swimming through, and then the coin box at the end had anywhere from like 200 credits to 100, like 100 and no. 1,900 credits, like, so you can make a bunch. Because like, so I ended up making a lot of money on that thing. I mean, like, I made $130 off my $5.
Nice.
And it's like, cool.
Wow.
And then I kept playing, and then I made $50. Like, I went down to 50. I was like, cool, I should stop here, because I was like, I made a lot of money, and then I was like, oh, cool, got greedy, and I was like, you know what, I can make more, and I ended up making less, and I was like, 50's fine, so I just stopped.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
I get why gambling's addicting. I really don't want to pick it up.
Yeah.
Anyways, besides that, that's it, man. That's all I've been up to. I've watched literally no anime.
That's rough, man.
I've watched no TV. It's just,
man.
Yeah, just a bunch of footballs and gambling and women and drinking.
I've watched a little TV.
Yeah, what'd you watch?
The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, you like that show, though, yeah.
So good. Honestly, the last line in the show fucking made me lose it. The whole context of it is husband and wife. Husband suddenly starts chasing down a van, and the wife's like, what are we doing? And he's like, oh, these are my car prank buddies. We do car pranks. Then he winds up chasing them down and like hits their van. It flips over. They like crawl out all wounded and run off into the forest. And he pulls out a gun and he's like, stay in the car, honey, and like tries to go chase him down. He's going to kill him, right? Mm-hmm. And then they run off too far and he's like yelling at him or whatever. And he's just standing there. Then the wife pops out of the car and she's like, honey, what in the world is going on? What are you doing? And he's like, just car pranks. We're just doing car pranks.
Car pranks, yeah.
And I just love that he's like, oh yeah, we're going to do some car pranks right now.
Speaking of pranks, because this is a great segue. Uh-huh. So on the flight back. Okay, by the way, the dildo did not go to use.
Yeah, no, I saw them get a lot of use out of it on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever the fuck.
I don't know what, I mean, so it was, okay, so anyways, Matt bought this dildo, it was like $15, like a pink dildo made out of silicone. Uh-huh. None of us men would admit to have ever playing with one before because we'd never seen one. So we're kind of curious. They're really fun to throw around and catch. It makes it very satisfying noise. It kind of feels like the same material those like sticky hands are made out of. Mm-hmm. So most of the trip, when we were in the hotel, sitting back, laying down, we're all drinking beers. We just kind of throw the dildo in the air and people would just catch it back and forth, or we'd hit each other with it. Like I hit Adrian so many times. I just chucked it at his back and his ribs because fuck Adrian. Adrian listens to the show, by the way.
I know.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
He only listens to the beginning part.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of Snapchats and stuff. And I was like, great. This is like, as this thing was meant to embarrass me or meant to like bring me some sort of shame.
And instead everyone's goofing.
We had a good time with it. I didn't know what to do with it on the way back. I was like, do I put it in my luggage? Like, it technically is a gift for me. He's like, no, I'll give it back to Matt. So I put it at the bottom of Matt's luggage. Went to the fucking, through Las Vegas airport. They didn't fucking flag him at all.
Yeah, like, I go, like, yeah, everyone brings dildos out of Vegas.
So I was sitting there being like, oh man, I go, could have been a good prank, but it wasn't a good prank. So prank failed.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's the end of my Vegas trip.
Hey, welcome home.
Thanks,
I'm glad to have you back.
Thanks, man. I missed you.
Yeah, while you were gone, I was just playing a shitload of Monster Hunter. Honestly, improvements all around. My roles have switched from buffing all the boys and doing big old face slams to like just slamming around, jumping up on monsters and exploding my axe sword thing into them. And now I've changed from that essentially to only exploding in them, like no more hitting them. Who gives a fuck? Just jumping up, exploding on them, and grabbing a handful of rocks, smashing it into the monster's eyes, and tearing it down, throwing it into walls. Just constant jumping up. You get a new thing where you could just like always grab onto the monster. And I just constantly throw shit at its face until it like loses control and it hits a wall, does a ton of damage, gets knocked over, is all disoriented, and everyone starts blowing it up.
That sounds so violent.
It is. And we don't capture, we only kill. Because honestly, if you capture them, like who knows what they're going to do, tear them apart piece by piece. Like,
at least you know that you killed it.
Yeah, it's dead. Put it out of its misery. And then I make cute clothes for my cat. I'm like, ooh, horrifying monster. That's going to make a good cat outfit.
Nice.
And then you do that. And now my cat's actually been the same thing pretty much since we started. Found out that you could get a rare kind of ore and turn your cat into like a space top. So it looks like a spinny top. And then it's got a little hat, so it just looks like a weird robot top thing. It doesn't even look like a cat anymore. Has two little circular sphere-ass hands that just kind of boop around. And I gave it so it has some semblance of humanity. I give it a little stuffed cat weapon. So now it's hitting stuff with a little cat weapon. as it's a freaky little hovering space top.
Nice.
It's adorable.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. Anyways, game's fun as hell, dude. I can't stop playing it. It's so damn good. Also, speaking of gambling, all that talk that you did about Vegas, they have a new gambling thing kind of in Monster Hunter. They have like a Steamworks, and you just randomly like pull levers. Essentially, it has no rhyme or reason to it. And eventually it like builds up enough to where suddenly all the cats start throwing a shit ton of coal into a furnace, and then it explodes a whole bunch and everything blows up. And then it's like, hey, you get like 100 items for pulling levers. So it just gives you a bunch of free shit essentially. So yeah, I've been gambling too. I'm a pretty busy gambling boy.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, but I haven't watched much anime, honestly. Anime's been lacking in my life.
Do you just want to do the news then? Because if we know how to talk about animes.
Yeah, we might as well just get to the news.
We're doing the news, guys. Fuck what's good. We're doing the news.
That's it. Yep. All right, cool. So check it out. Vinland Saga, you know it. You love it. You're going to have to wait a little bit more to love it some more. Episode 10 has been delayed to next week due to a typhoon. So,
okay.
Sorry, boys. Okay. But, typhoons, you got to be careful with that shit.
You got to respect them, yeah.
Mad respect. Konosuba Movie, Legend of Crimson, will receive a November 12th release. So, it'll come out soon. Congrats to Konosuba fans. Yeah. Violet Evergarden, we know it. We love it. There are a bunch of things kind of coming out about this that... First off, everybody that works on the film gets their name put in the credits. Normally, they just do people that have worked there for a year or more. But this is everybody that works on it is going to be in the credits. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that's cool.
For animation studios. But most importantly, the film is going to be delayed right now, which we could all assume is due to the arson attack. I'm sure a lot of projects got put on hold and certain issues are taking... different amounts of time. And since we're talking about Kyoto Animation, it's important to know that all of the donations that went to Kyoto Animation, it's not just to Kyoto. It's not for, the heads or anything. It's specifically for the people that were victims, of the attack. So that's good to know. They came out and made that very explicit.
Yeah, they're very transparent about it. They're
hey,
it's not just Kyoto, and he's just raking in the dough. That money's going to the people who need it.
Yeah, it's going to the survivors. It's going to the people that need help. There's still, I think, 7 people in the hospital from the attack. So while there are some workers that were able to make it back, and they're working in the office now, and they're working on cool projects that we know and love, there are some that are still recovering and they're still under medical distress. And it's good that they're being financially supported by all these donations and stuff.
Yeah, that's really good, yeah.
And I don't remember if we brought this up or not, but at Crunchyroll Expo, it was pretty cool. There were areas that we could donate cranes to send to Kyoto Animation. And I'm not sure if they were accepting donations aside from cranes, but I think that they may have been. It looked like they could have been. So pretty cool. Pretty cool that there's still so much support and effort being put in by others. I like it. Good appreciation time. All right. Time to talk about some more concerning shit, right? So there's been some concern rising over Netflix and Production IG's hand-drawn 4K HDR project. I don't know if you know much about what's been going on, but essentially they're not being paid adequately for the amount of work it is. And a lot of other animators and people are coming out saying, fuck this. They need to be paid 4 times as much. I would never accept a project like this. Other people are saying it's not worth it for 4K. Anime is not something that needs to be 4K.
Yeah.
So that amount of work isn't worth it at all. Other people are saying, I would never accept a project like this because then it puts the precedent that people will work for that amount. So then we would never get another project like this because people are just asking for way too little in order to get that project done or whatever.
Is that
just lots of different issues from different animators that are talking about it and directors and just different people working on these kinds of projects. And yeah.
It being 4K, does that mean they just have to draw more drawings? Is it
it's a more elaborate, larger drawing, I would assume.
Right. So it's just bigger, right? And but the pay scale they didn't change, right? They're just no, fuck it, you'll do it for this amount.
Yeah.
That's pretty shitty. I know that there's historically animators have just always been undervalued.
Yeah.
Even in the United States and Canada, like there's no union like or unionization for like the animators. And I remember, because I study animation. I remember when I was talking to my teacher about it and being like, explaining like, hey, when I'm super down for whenever I try to get a job to just get paid whatever. I just want to work, And he goes, that's literally the worst thing you can possibly do. He goes like, because if you'll do something for $100, someone's going to do it for $50 and someone will do it for $25 and someone's going to do it for $5 and then no one's getting any actual money.
Yeah.
I think we were in San Jose and this popped up where fucking, I saw this clip for the Shaquille O'Neal. He's doing this show thing.
We talked about this.
Yeah, with Shaq Tunes or whatever. He made this video where he was like, "Hey guys, I'm Shaq here. I'm doing this new show on TBS or whatever." And he was saying he wants bumpers in between like his shows of like little snippets or stories of his life that he's told or whatever. But he wants them animated, and he's calling those the Shaq Tunes. He goes like, "Hey, go to like shacktunes.com or whatever," and
at first I'm like, oh, that's cool for an artist to like, it's anybody, they just randomly choose like somebody that they like their animation, and then that person gets paid. I was like, oh, that could be really cool.
But he was like, go to like, here, pick a story and start animating, and it's like, and send it to me. He goes, I'll make you famous or whatever. That's like the catchphrase. People have looked into it. It's like he wants it done with like the show airs within a month or something like that, so he wants it done at a super fast time. He goes like, there's also no pay if you make it and he doesn't get picked. And if you do get picked, you get paid like $500, which is like nothing for all the work that you're putting in. And then the best part was like, he's like, he's going to put your name in the credits saying like, you animated this, which is like great. It's great publicity or whatever. He goes, but even in the video where he's like doing like the commercial and trying to sell people to do it, it's animated and there's no mention of who animated it. And I was like, that's pretty gross. Like you're promising this to this person.
I'll make you famous.
Yeah.
No name anywhere to be
pay.
Found.
Like it's like you got plenty of money to pay an actual animator to do this thing for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like when people get artists to do stuff for free. Like, hey, can you draw me? And they go, yeah, it's gonna cost this much. Like, oh, I wanted it for free. All it is a drawing. It's like,
no, fuck you. Yeah, I definitely expected it to be something more like, send me your portfolio, and then like we'll choose you to animate it or whatever. Show us some animations of the style that you would want to do for this, or like something like that. And then it's like, you only have a month, just fucking do it, and maybe we'll choose you. $500, no name, fuck you.
And there's no guarantee. Like you could do all the work and give it to them. And then they fucking own it because they say it's ours now, and then they didn't pick your shit. That's wild. No, fuck that.
Nah.
But that's bullshit. That's bad on Netflix. I think they should be paying the people appropriate amount of money. And I don't
it's not just Netflix too. It's also Production IG that should be called out for that. They
should be. But what's wild is like the big reason, because they're talking about like it doesn't need to be in 4K. It doesn't make sense for
720p, and it's fine.
It
could be 1080p and sure, but 4K is, but I feel like it doesn't need to be.
I feel the idea is that like we're going to be the first to do it, and that's what they really want. They want people
it's so cheap. They should be the first to do it and pay them adequate pay.
Yeah,
and be like, oh damn, these projects might be worth it, and then we'll find out if they are. But instead, they're starting out low and nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, that's bad on both the parts. Yeah, I don't like that.
So kind of shitty. Anyways, so Magia Record anime is scheduled for January 2020. That's the spin-off of Madoka Magica based off of the mobile game that I played around for a minute. Honestly, I could see it being okay. Mm-hmm. They don't have the same director for it, but like, you know what, Madoka's good, so like we'll see if it's,
do you know if it's at least the same like studio or...
I don't know if it's done by Studio Shaft or not. That's something I need to check out. But we'll get to that in 2020, January. Yeah, But since we're talking about Madoka, let's talk about the director. So Jin Urobuchi, his next anime is going to be all about hardcore mecha, which fucking dark ass magical girl anime that I goddamn love. Hardcore mecha anime. I'm thinking of along the lines of like Evangelion. Maybe it's a bit different, of course, but it's, it's got those dark themes. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm down.
We'll see what it is. We'll keep you posted whenever he says more stuff. But that's all the news that I have for you. There's of course more, but I felt like these were easier for us to talk about without, any major like, oh man, what else have they done? And like, oh yeah, that's sad or whatever,
Cool, man. Let's talk about this week's topic. Yeah.
Finally. We're talking about Carole and Tuesday. It's the new anime that's out on Netflix. Sometimes in some countries it's week by week. For the United States, it just released about a week and a half ago. and it's only part 1, so we get 12 episodes. It's made by the studio Bones, and they've done a lot of things that everybody loves, like My Hero Academia, Mob Psycho 100 season 1 and 2, and also Bungo Stray Dogs. They've done a ton more stuff. Bones is a studio that we appreciate and who now we trust.
Trust. In Bones we trust.
In Bones we trust. The director, whose name is Watanabe, I can't remember his first name right now. It's like something one syllable ass name. It's not. It's like several syllable ass names. So Shinichiro Watanabe, easy.
Nailed it.
Totally nailed it. He's done a ton of things that people love. Most notably, I would say, is Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop. Then we also have another more music-oriented anime, Kids on the Slope, and a whole bunch of others in between, Space Dandy and stuff. Anyways, we love this director for different reasons. Some people love Cowboy Bebop. Other people don't. Some people fucking love Space Dandy. Other people don't. I love Carole and Tuesday. Just fucking saying that. I like all this dude's stuff so far. Not the biggest fan of some of his things, but like I totally get it. Carole and Tuesday, I understand if somebody's like not the biggest fan of it, but like totally get it. Somebody's like, fuck this anime. I don't get them. I just don't fucking get it. I love this shit, dude. So anyways, 10 out of 10. What about you?
I kind of have a controversial take on Carole Tuesday.
Shit, yeah.
I think Carole Tuesday it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't love it like 100%.
You don't have to, yeah.
But there's a lot of things in it that make me like it a lot.
I have complaints as well.
Okay,
Even though it's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 in my book because I just want to watch it again. Definitely have some complaints.
Yeah, there's things we could talk about. But as a whole, it's for sure a good anime and it's worth watching.
What the hell's it about?
Okay, so it's about this girl named Carole.
Okay.
And this girl named Tuesday.
Yeah. Starts off with Tuesday.
Yeah, and she she's running away from home. She's dressed up pretty nice. She kind of has like a, I don't know, what would you describe her style as?
It's a semi-Victorian style.
Yeah.
It's like a casual indie Victorian.
But she's like running away with like her like guitar case and like
and
some sort of robot
suitcase.
Yeah, a robot suitcase, and it's
she's leaving a mansion.
Giant mansion, yeah. And quickly we see that, it's like kind of futuristic, and she's on this weird bus, weird train thing or whatever. And there's like a voiceover talking about her running away from home and all this stuff. And we get to quickly fucking find out that we're not on Earth. We're on Mars.
Oh, shit.
And
so we're in the future.
It's the future. Mars has been colonized for some years now. People have been living there. There's big cities. There's tech, blah, 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 this stuff. Then we meet Carole, who is going to her part-time job, riding her super cool like skateboard thing with one wheel. She gets fired because she's being accosted by one guy sexually and then being treated like an asshole by another guy.
So she just decides, fuck these
them.
guys.
Yeah, and she like puts like hot sauce on their on the fucking jump combos, which is their burgers, and they're like, ooh, too spicy. So she gets fired.
Yeah, been there, man.
She is a piano or like a keyboard, right?
She's a pianoer.
She's a pianist, and she's playing music on like a bridge. Tuesday comes across her and like is hearing her melody and like she like breaks into tears.
She's like, "Fuck, that's beautiful."
She's like, "Fuck, oh!" And she literally says, "Fuck, oh!"
Yeah, and then Carole's just like, what's are you get away from me?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Bruh, your music is fucking so good.
It speaks to me, bro." That's how Carole sounds.
Yeah, and
that's how Tuesday sounds.
They do a big chill, and then she's like, "Yeah, I want to write music like together. Like, do you have lyrics to your song or anything?" She's like, "Nah, man, I don't really know what to do with it. It's not even a song. It's just a little tune, It's
and so then
melody.
Tuesday's like, check it. Boom, starts dropping lyrics.
Yeah, she's like, "Bro, check out this lyric book. I heard you on the bridge and I wrote all this down." And then Carole's kind of like blown and like, she's like, "What the fuck? How'd you do this?" Tuesday's like, "Ain't no thing. Let's make music. Let's go, baby."
It's like the Beatles. I don't actually know how the Beatles met.
Not exactly like that. It's more like Vampire Weekend, where they met at college.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, I was trying to think of another band that I've known, but I actually don't know. It's like
the Ramones.
It's like One Direction. They all go to X Factor, UK to meet together. And then, Simon Cowell's like, "I like all you guys individually, but you guys would be better together. That's what happened. This is the One Direction of anime.
Yeah, it essentially, more or less, yes.
So they meet up. They become friends pretty quickly, right? They kind of share their dreams and their passions, which is writing music, and we quickly learned that music in this future isn't really written by people anymore.
No, it's written by robots.
But it's AI kind of stuff where like people will still sing and stuff, but
humans perform it. They don't write it.
But the words are written for you, and like the music is created for you by technology. Like it's like super advanced computers and all that stuff. Carole and Tuesday, they ain't about that. They're like, I just want to make music.
Fuck that noise.
But you know what I really like about them? They're also not super like snooty about it. They're not like fuck AI music. It's all about fuck, because like
but there is a moment where they're like, man, fuck the big men out there.
But that happened.
I thought that was so stupid and funny. But I love it.
But as a whole, they're not really like, they're like, cool. You make music is written by AI. That's great. And they just write music that they write themselves.
Yeah, just because that's what they know and that's what they're good at and that's what they're passionate about.
They slowly the episodes kind of slowly go through where like they make a social media. By the way, you could actually follow them on Instagram because the feature has Instagram.
It's pretty cool.
And they post stuff when every episode drops. We've assumed, right? We've gathered.
Yeah, we know. I got a little spoiler from looking at. Well, I mean, you did too.
I do too, but we don't want to talk about it.
If you do follow Carole and Tuesday, just know that there are going to be some spoilers. Don't look at their friends. Yeah, just a heads up there.
But anyways, so they kind of do it slowly, where they're like, they have social media. They get caught and someone records them, without their knowledge of them performing their song they
find like a super cool venue to like kind of
fuck around with,
and this dude lets them play.
It's Roddy is his name, right?
Yeah, Roddy.
Roddy, and he's a programmer who creates AI for music, and so he posts it. There's like traction, there's following and stuff. And then this catches the eye of this guy who used to be a musician and now he's like a manager of fucking artist, even though like he's kind of washed up.
Yeah, a little bit.
So him and Roddy hook up and they grab Carole and Tuesday and they're like, I'm your fucking manager. And Roddy's just kind of there being like, you guys are two pretty girls and I found you and I like your music. It speaks to me, because I feel like he's kind of like, he's
the support, but he's like the I have connections and weird connections guy.
He's also kind of like, I feel like they could have expanded Roddy more, but it's a lot of like him being
I feel like that about every character, but yeah, that's my issue. That's why I want to see part 2 so bad, is because I feel like either I missed little nuances of characters or what. Like, I like all the characters. They're all fine, but they don't feel like real people.
They seem really simple.
Shallow.
Yeah, very like they're like, you have here's a couple characteristics. There you go. On your way.
That's what I liked about the end is you're like, oh, I learned more about Tuesday. Turns out there's more to her. We haven't seen it yet. I would love to see more. So there is my biggest complaint, and I could complain about that for a while because of how much I like the show.
Surprisingly, who got a lot of more time than I thought he would be, was the manager.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's the most fleshed out character.
It's super strange because he's not first of all, he's not like an attractive character, physically drawn. He's not hot or anything.
No,
and he's not
he used to be.
Yeah, he used to be. But what I'm saying is he's not he's also not a main character. He's just one of the side characters. He's more important than other
support character.
But it's wild that his story is way more fleshed out. Like he talks about his past with his band. He talks about his ex and how he fell in love and whatever. And now they're not together. He's an alcoholic. He talks about what really fucked him up was how he had a musical partner. The music partner wanted to leave and he didn't try to fight for him to be like, no, man, we have to stay together, and that's his biggest regret. And so it's like, wow, this character, he's okay. What the fuck? I want this with other people.
Mostly he's just in a rivalry with some other character that's doing the same exact thing as him.
Also kind of is a little more fleshed out than other characters.
And what they do is instead of being like, these characters, they're really complex and they're learning more about each other and they're getting more and more mad or whatever. Instead, they're just like, nope, just the same joke over and over with these two characters. They're pretty much the same, but very, very different. So they have that as the major element of him being around for half the episodes. Yeah. And then a bit in the others, they're like, and we're going to make him a really diverse, very interesting character with this huge backstory and all these different kinds of paths that he could have gone down and where he's at now and how he got there. You learn about all that. I don't know much about Carole. Carole doesn't really say much.
A little flashback of her being an orphan.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you know what? I don't know my parents. And we learn that instead of through her telling us or her telling Tuesday or whatever, her telling anyone, she tells everyone.
Yeah.
She tells everyone on TV.
Yeah.
That's the only time that
really
Tuesday's learning about this. And she's like, fuck, man. I didn't know that you went through that shit, dog.
Bro.
Damn. Fuck. Damn. Fuck.
Yeah. So the first few episodes, and this is kind of something that I'm not gonna say I didn't like, but it's something I was noticing. And it makes sense that this is the same guy that did Cowboy Bebop and Space Alien and stuff. They kind of felt like episodic, in a way where it was
almost,
just like where
they had an ongoing story.
Yeah.
But they also felt like it was kind of
contained, like the thing
until the second half.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, so then that's why I wasn't really like, I was like, I like this. I don't love it yet, And
I think that's just an old school style thing. So he kind of tried to bring that back or something. Maybe it's just because of how his space sci-fi went.
I think that's just how he likes doing. Like, that's one thing he really likes about anime. Like, that's just like the style of anime that he's for sure familiar with, because those episodes, the first 5 or 6 episodes, kind of boil down to being like, they're gonna try to do something to promote the band, right? They do the thing.
I know Carole needs another job.
Yeah, and then it ends up not working out, and then they go, "Oh shucks, let's go." And then next week it's the same thing. Like, this time we're gonna do a music video, and then like this time we're gonna go see this fucking rapper. This time we're gonna, like, and it's just kind of like, this is fun, and I really enjoy it because it visually it looks great, and every episode seems to have some sort of musical element, right? They're singing something, or like they're writing a new song, and it's like, it's so great. But it was okay. They gotta do something, because there has to be a plot here, and it was the last half of the plot where they got to the point where like, cool, the way we're gonna make you guys famous is you're gonna compete for essentially the Mars version of American Idol, and it's just like, oh, okay, sweet, now we're fucking cooking. Where every episode was now continue on from the last one, and they're still doing the same thing where like there's always music in these episodes, And
honestly, we haven't talked about it yet. I can't stop listening to the music.
Music's really good.
I'm super into it. And it's not the typical music that I would listen to, but I feel like there was so much effort and passion put behind most of these songs. I was really surprised. So I'm listening to, songs from different competitors. Yeah. I love one of the characters' songs that was only around for one song. Like,
which guy?
I don't want to I don't want to spoil anything about the competition.
Was it the rapping guy?
I'm going to talk. No, I don't.
No, I hate him.
I don't want to talk much about the competition and like what specifically happened and who won and what was going down with all of that. I'm okay with talking about the first half because I feel like it is episodic and it just gets there. But the music by all the characters, like, there's a particular a clip that I saw forever ago of the Mermaid Girls, I think is what they were called, or something like that.
The Mermaid Sisters.
The Mermaid Sisters, yeah, thank you. I saw this clip forever ago, and it's just saying, like, fuck you, motherfucker, bitch ass motherfucker, shit, fuck you, like, over and over, but it's singing it kind of like a barbershop quartet, but they're all these girls, and they're like, motherfucker, motherfucker.
I think they're boys dressed up as girls, right? Yeah. That's a good episode, by the way. I like the last bit because it felt more episodic, and because we got to see more characters. And
so it really fit his format of episodic with an ongoing thing. Like, he figured out what to make it work for the show.
I think the way he combined it, which is super smart, was the beginning of every episode is the.
This is how they became the best fucking musicians of all time.
And that's the only reason he does that is because he could open it a different way, but he's like, I'm going to do this, that way people know, hey guys, there is a plot here. Just wait for it, because
don't worry about it.
It's coming. And so the whole time I was like, it better have happened, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
And then they dropped the fucking intro song, which is fucking killer.
Yeah. And honestly, Netflix, fuck you. Every time I'm like, don't skip to next episode. And now I have to go back and restart from the beginning because I want to hear these fucking intro and outro songs because they're just jams.
Yeah. So I mean, again, this is a show that's fairly recent. There is things to spoil. I really don't feel like spoiling it because it's so good. You should probably just go watch it.
Honestly, it is. I for sure have gripes. I hope that they fix my gripes in the later half. But yeah, I mean, with the whole episodic feel that you have, that's one of my issues with like Eureka 7 and Trigun is that it takes a while to get to the parts that like really make it what it is. But I feel like without that beginning part, you don't have that like, oh, I know what these characters like when they're having fun and not as serious, It didn't work as well for this show so far.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're still the same. They're not any different than the beginning. They haven't like grown yet. They're just still making music and they're trying hard. I do show I see that there's a little bit of growth between like Tuesday kind of having to reveal who she is. Mm-hmm. She wanted to keep it a mystery, and then she's like, no, fuck it, I have to be who I am. Yeah. And Carole telling her backstory, and you get to see like a little bit more of a serious side. But we haven't gotten to the point where they're really diving into who they are and how they're changing as people, and it hasn't had that point yet.
I would really like to see them struggle. Is the thing, like I would like to see, because like they're facing challenges and adversity or whatever. But every time something bad happens, they go, "Oh well, it's fine." And I was like, "No, I want there to be some sort of effect. I want them. I want to do too. I want to see them like be like upset or be mad at each other, because like they're in the end of this season or whatever. There is drama between the two of them. But by the end of it, I was like, oh, that was resolved a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Man.
So it would be cool, because what else I was thinking? Because like they're having a good time singing the music, just the two of them near the end of the season or whatever. And I was thinking like, oh man, it like kind of like my brain went fast forward like. I know they're going to become famous because the thing keeps saying it, right? And I go, wow, say they're famous for like 10, 15 years, and maybe like they bring back this whole, this idea of like, maybe you can write music, maybe it doesn't have to be AI, blah, blah, blah. This like, they'll be the forefront of that, right?
Yeah. So they're like the Beatles,
exactly.
Essentially. So in my head, everyone knows and everyone loves the Beatles. I don't love the Beatles, but I respect the fuck out of the Beatles, dog. They started a lot of different trends in music, and they were the forefront of like rock and roll in the US, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not getting down to the whole blues section, but anyways, they started a sensation, and I feel like Carole and Tuesday could be that start.
Exactly.
And then somebody could come along and be like, oh yeah, I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it better.
It's like, I remember Carole and Tuesday exactly like, that's that they're like, they can like be that new, that thing that drives humanity away from, doing the AI music, whatever, being like, bringing them back to their roots and be like, music can be this other thing.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking like, say they do it for 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. It's like, are they going to be like,
who knows?
Bands have relationships and stuff. Like, people, people break up, people get married. I was just like,
new genres.
So just, I feel like just the element of it, like, it doesn't feel realistic in that point. There's a lot of things in this stuff that make it feel really, really real. But it's just like, sometimes I was like, no, man, you just got fired from your job. You don't have a way to pay rent. I just want to see more like,
you want to see that struggle.
To be more grounded.
See that adversity.
It just feels very, everything's too okay. And I go, nah, fuck you. You're a rock star. Go through a fucking heroin stage or whatever. we did see like,
they're only 17.
Fuck them.
There's
I don't care.
Lots of,
do a lot of coke.
I'm just saying there's a lot of room for them to, fuck up.
I know there's a character in the later arc that like is obsessed with Tuesday, and I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
I love that whole like Tuesday doesn't know what to do kind of thing, and I felt like they did such a good job with that, and I loved that whole little story arc. It wasn't the forefront of the story. It was something that was going on until it became the forefront. I like how that.
I really enjoyed
cool
it because I was like, you know what, that does happen. People become obsessed with the fucking artists and stuff. And again, someone super sheltered like Tuesday is just like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just trying to be friendly or whatever. And I'm like, no, bro, you're fucking up. Something's gonna happen. You got to be careful. And
very,
that I really
very cool
enjoyed.
Story. When it got to the point where you're like, oh, this is an issue. That was a big moment for me. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to spoil what happens. There are a couple of moments with it where I'm just like, yikes, dude. Yikes, fucking yikes.
Mm-hmm.
A big, huge, goddamn yikes. I loved it. That was a great little story element. She was an awesome addition to it. We get different characters that interact more with Carole and Tuesday, and it doesn't always have to be the person that they're up against in that competition or whatever. But it's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's really not much I can say more plot wise, story wise, because we already talked about it. We don't want to spoil it.
They've got lots of different people that they interact with.
They need to develop more as characters just in front of us, and that has to be on the writing side of things. And they need to work on making them feel like they're growing or whatever. I'd like to see more adversity thrown their way, more challenges. And then I'd like there to be like more like realistic, fucking issues. Because like, Roddy fucking at one point
blows up a goddamn
car, right?
Like $100,000 car.
He technically doesn't blow it up, but it gets blown up, and he borrowed it, and it's just like, we're not going to acknowledge that. Like, bro, someone's got to pay for that shit.
I know that's how I felt. I also, it felt very space standy. Yeah. But they had a robot that's fueled by alcohol, by beer, specifically. Yeah. And that was a whole thing that I felt like was very
you didn't realize
out of place. Mm-hmm. but it was fun. It was one of those fun episodes. And that's how the car was destroyed, actually, is because of that. And that's what made it even more like, well, there's got to be a consequence.
There's got to be, there's got to be some sort of, like even, so, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it, but I would like to see more of the show. I know there's more. They're coming out because, obviously Netflix is holding them hostage. So. It's a great show. It looks gorgeous. I don't know if we talked about this. I like the character design.
I mean, Bones is great. They have a lot of lighting effects, which I feel like look like that Madhouse level of Antarctica Girls. What's it fucking called?
Place Further in the Universe?
Yeah, Place Further in the Universe. They have those lighting effects where like each character kind of glows and they have this light halo around them in certain scenes. And I really like that because I don't see it frequently in animation. Mm-hmm. So I like the way that they do that. Character designs are off the hook, dude. They're so good.
Yeah, one of my favorite just like design choices is Carole has like an owl, and like we see her in like the first episode, and I go,
robot owl.
And I go, cool, she has an owl. That's so weird. And like the owl wakes her up, and then it's
an alarm clock.
Its chest opens up to like what time it is. I go, holy fuck, it's the future. I'm like, what an interesting choice. And other people have these automated things like a bunny or whatever that they follow.
Just so fun.
And like, nice. I really like this. Like they're talking about like they go get pizza and they're ordering pizza at the table or whatever, and then like hey man, like the margarita pizza here is really good. The tomatoes, they use the tomatoes that they grow upstairs, and like upstairs is like this hydroponic thing that's like growing tomatoes. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, man.
The future's
this
dope,
is the future, man. Bro. Like what's going on?
Because you have to grow vegetables in buildings.
Yeah.
Probably. They were walking outside. I don't know if it was like a bubble or what.
It wasn't, they didn't really delve too much into it, but it's okay. I wasn't really questioning it. I was like, fine. I don't know how far into the future it is. It can't be way too far because they do mention
vinyl records,
like old music
of large musicians.
But but it's like even music that's like kind of old for us, right? And I go, okay, that's really old or whatever. But I was like, all right, Tina Turner is fine, whatever.
Yeah, you're like Stevie Nicks. I know her.
Okay, I get it. I get the Nicks. So it's like, so it is like I don't know what time it is. I think they might say the year, but I'm like, oh, that can mean anything, whatever. Right? I don't fucking care. Great sci-fi elements to it. Really liked it.
They just the sets and characters and world building
and the music, like we said, it's fucking beautiful. I know like one thing that one thing that I've always disliked about music in the animes is when people like
when they're playing it,
when they play it, or when people go like, oh, this is amazing, or like the
and it
force a piano
amazing.
And they go, this sounds like fucking fine or whatever. This is one of those animes where like, holy shit, I feel the music. I'm like, wow, that's a song I've never heard before. It's obviously being written. They're doing a great job of harmonizing, and I go.
The harmonizing, honestly, that's what gets me more than anything in the music, is Carole and Tuesday's harmonizing is so fucking good. I love it.
But yeah, I'm sitting there and being like, yeah, man, like, I feel it. Like that is a really good song. Like some of those songs are really short, it has to fit in the show or whatever.
Fine.
It's fine. I'm like, I get it. Like the people around here are also in awe. They're like, wow, someone wrote that song. I'm also sitting here like, wow, someone wrote that song. That's fucking good. Like my favorite song, I think I have two songs that I really like. It's the song where like, where it's the first song that they play later again.
Loneliest. I think that's Loneliest Girl.
I really like that song. I also really like the song that the Jewel chick sings when she's at their weird like Coachella festival thing. It's not the song that they sing. It's
Jewel.
She has like a jewel in her head or whatever.
Fuck, I can't remember what one that was.
I don't remember what it's called either, but I remember being like, wow, I like those songs a lot. They're pretty good. Oh, and the guy who was like Jewel's ex-boyfriend, he was like the big, strong, like black dude or whatever. He was also playing a song or whatever. I'm like, he's got a pretty voice. That's it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There aren't every song from Carole and Tuesday on Spotify that I've been able to find, but there's a lot. You do have like the Old Guys and the Mermaid Sisters.
It's on there, yeah.
You got Mad Dog, all that shit. But yeah, they also have the songs from, I don't remember their name, but the Galaxy Chick. You have the songs from the Music Girl.
Rebecca?
Yeah, you have the songs from Rebecca.
Is that her name? Yeah.
Whatever her
By
name
the way,
is.
there's also this other character who...
She has a story arc, and it's also very interesting. She's a rival, maybe / friend. Hard to tell at the end.
Exactly, because like I was watching, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, when are these two worlds gonna mixed, right? When are they going to combine? Because she's been in there since episode 1, right?
Yeah, and you know it's going to come too.
I'm waiting, and it takes a long time for them to come together. And when they do come together for the first time, it's very like
it's interesting.
Yeah, it's not what I thought they were going to do. I thought it was going to be like bigger or something. It felt very like I felt like it was building up something, and it just didn't really deliver.
I think the issue with that not delivering for you is that you expected the character, of course you expect the like main characters to interact to most,
react, yeah.
But instead of it being the main characters kind of like coming to, it was more so about the characters around them. Meeting and having interactions with the character. It was weird. So everyone around these two groups of main characters, they had more of a focus on what the characters were doing.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about the protagonist and the antagonist, I guess, is how you could look at it, but it wasn't exactly that.
It wasn't that. Like, I wanted there to be like a blow up between Carole and Tuesday against Rebecca, like some sort of like, Rebecca being super shady and then be like, fuck you, bitch, we're taking you down. But there wasn't that.
No, I want in season 2 collab. I want them to collab because she's got a great voice.
I wanted them to like to bust on each other and then be like, all right, man, we're cool. I'll feature you on this later. Like, I would have liked it too. Yeah. But now it's just like, oh, cool. They're kind of okay, I guess, or whatever. It was just really strange because I expected one thing, especially because Rebecca was there from the very beginning. And it took so long for her to finally become intertwined in the Carole and Tuesday world. And for it to just kind of deliver something very like, I mean, she's great, like I'm saying, but there was no conflict or no real confrontation. I feel like her biggest issue was her being upset with not her manager, her producer, not being super interested in her and maybe taking some interest into Carole and Tuesday. And I was just like, that's it. Like, come on, like, see something, I don't know.
So what's your favorite song? Since we were just talking about that, and then we got into her character,
it's probably the first song. I really like that song.
Girl, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I also really like the outro song.
The outro song is really good.
It grew on me a lot. Yeah, I like the visuals of the intro of the intro song, but I like the visuals because they're having people dance in the street. I'm like, and as an animator, I was like, that's really hard to do to make someone twirl like that.
You're like, kiss me in the moonlight, and you're like, yeah, I get it. This looks great, but then at the end, you're fucking jamming. Hold me now. I'm finally fulfilled.
Yeah. Woo! Like that outro song. Like the outro. It's in itself is very simple. It's walking, different outfits. I'm just like, I've seen this before. Nothing. It's not something. But the song fucking kills.
Jams. Yeah. It's so good. I think my favorite's Round and Laundry. Sounds kind of like Sheryl Crow a little bit. Yeah. But I like how it comes to like its final form in the show. Starts out, they're just hanging out, banging on stuff, and then it turns into a song.
I like how the third guy there being like, he's like, clapping, oh yeah,
like, ooh, woo, woo. Yeah, it was great. But then when the actual song comes around, I'm like, ooh, jamming hard. They're harmonizing. It's just great in that song. All of the music by Carole and Tuesday are my favorites, and all the other music I also really like, but the Carole and Tuesday ones are better than everything else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why I was really like having a good time with them being the protagonists and not feeling like, I don't know, this other fucker is pretty fucking good. Like, there are other good ones.
The other guys are also really good. Like, I was super surprised with specifically one character. I was like,
Me too.
I was like, you're such a fuckboy. And then he goes up there and like, oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty popping right there. Yeah.
Dude, honestly, most of the characters surprised me in different ways with their songs. And that's what I like about it, is that it's like, it's all about the music. And I think that's where the issue lies with the character development, is that these characters that play music, they're thinking, we'll tell their stories through the music and we'll tell their personalities and really show that through the music. But we don't want that. We want to see experiences, and we want to see like interactions and discussions and all of that real shit, which is what we get from their manager, but
not them.
Not them. Anyways, I fucking love this show. I can't wait for more. There, of course, are those little flaws that we talked about, but overall, they're so easy to ignore for me. So,
yeah,
it's just a great time. If anyone was like, hey, what do you think about this? And I was like, yeah, I don't know why you're not watching it. You should have already watched it. Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
Which also my friend Kate hit me up. Apparently, she has a coworker friend or something that was like, hey, here's some anime to watch. And she's like, is it worth it to watch? Is it worth it to watch The Boy and the Beast? And I'm like, yes, watch everything that guy does. It's fucking great. I love that guy, yeah, man, go watch Wolf Children after that, and then watch Mirai. You're gonna have a great time. And she's like, what about Garden of Words? And I'm like, do you like rain? It's fucking beautiful. It's only 60 minutes long.
Do you like beautiful rain, you stupid bitch?
Never seen a better soda can in my life, you stupid.
Fucking Garden of Words makes me hate the fact that real rain doesn't look that good. Because it rains here in town, and I go, fuck, it's raining.
If it looked fucking gray, it's stupid.
If it looked like Garden of Words, I'd be like, fuck yeah, it's raining.
Anyways, it's some of that shit where like this is on that level of, yeah, you should watch it. What the fuck are you asking me for? Yeah. You should have already started watching it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's not perfect in my opinion. I mean, very few things are perfect. It does a lot of cool things. We talked about the gripes that they could improve.
Yeah, always.
Even if they don't improve them for the second part of this, I mean, I'm still gonna watch it and for the most part enjoy it, unless they do something like really weird or whatever.
I couldn't imagine
them ruining this, right? Like,
yeah, they couldn't possibly go that hard.
Oh, breaking news! It looks like Carole Tuesday's Part 2 has been picked up by JC Staff.
Yikes!
Yeah, so that would really suck ass.
It just gets really etchy and it's good though.
Yes, that's the Carole Tuesday I want to see.
Etchy Victorian outfits.
Yeah, man. So that's all there really is to it. Check it out. Check Carole Tuesday out for sure. There's 12 of them.
All of their clothing too. We didn't talk about this, but they do change clothes in every episode and stuff. I love when they do that for characters. It adds a level of realism to it. And it does make it feel less slice of life.
Not only do they do clothes, they also do laundry. So, they're cleaning the clothes.
Yep.
So you go, what? They already wore that outfit. Yeah, because they fucking washed it, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, and they have that whole, like, going to the bathroom song.
Yep.
They're like, is it 1 or 2?
You good? You happy?
I'm very happy with that.
Anyways, like we said,
super satisfied.
Check out Carole Tuesday. It's on Netflix. Part 2 should be coming out. We don't fucking know when, but when it comes out, we'll probably review that Part 2. We usually don't review Part 2s of things or Season 2s of things.
Well, it depends.
If it sucks, but
we just haven't seen a lot of.
Usually they suck butt, so we don't do it. But this one's probably gonna fucking review.
Gonna do a review.
Yeah.
Well, mostly we don't do Season 2 reviews of things because it's part of our summary reviews, and we don't really focus on that one show for that. Anyways, Netflix though is a whole different beast where they release like Season 1, Season 2 all at once. There's just nothing on Netflix that's worth it to be like, oh fuck yeah.
You tell me you don't want to see the second part of Baki? You want to see the second part of Sword Guy? But what's the second part of Be the Beginning? Okay, nice, got you. We're watching Be the Beginning. I don't know.
I actually do remember being like, I would watch the second half just to see what the fuck happens.
What are we doing next week,
Yeah.
That movie?
Yeah.
We're doing that movie that's coming out on Netflix. It's the...
Anyways, we'll talk to you guys next week. It's a Commentary of the Iron Fortress. It has an actual name for the movie, but whatever. It's the Commentary of the Iron Fortress movie. I don't know if you can go into it without seeing the show, but here's what you need to know for the show for next week. Main character is just a dude. He's a regular ass kid. He's like kind of an inventor. Anyways, he gets bit by a zombie. Bad news. How's he fix it? He fucking kills himself, dog. He hangs himself right there. And it turns out that him hanging himself stopped the virus. It killed the virus. His head was still alive. So he's like half zombie. So he's extra powerful and could go like demon mode essentially sometimes. And then he hangs out with some other people. They go on a train and they try to find like the safety. And eventually there's some other bullshit and they overcome it. So tune in next week for the movie review, which is not a recap, which is important.
It's a continuation of the series that aired, a couple years ago, I feel like.
3 probably years. It's been a minute.
Anyways, that's what we're doing next week.
Hell yeah.
Check it out if you want to. If not, I don't fucking care. Anyways, this says if you like our logo, hit up aaronfromtobytops.com. If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. If you want to tweet at us, tweet at Instant Ramen Pod. And you could go ahead and shoot us an email, instantramenpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you. And I hope that next week you have a good time with us.
Yep. Okay, so this is bye from Juan.
See you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.